I'll keep repeating the same question. How many people need to be shot before we realize this country has a gun problem? Dyze in your house. Exclusively on East Coast Radio. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are that of my own and are not of my employer.
Nobody likes me. Nobody likes me. But that's okay, cause I don't like y'all anyway. And I don't like y'all anyway.
We have until November of 2020 to get our act together as a country, as a nation, to correct this injustice. And the biggest injustice in the world was allowing a foreign power to install a criminal into the White House and turn an administration into a fascist crime syndicate. That must be corrected. And we only have there's only one more election we have to correct it, or this whole thing is over.
If you don't know what Staten Island is, it's like New York's abortion that lived.
I never met any of the founding fathers, but I'm sure if they were listening to East Coast Radio right now and brand new episodes of Dyze in your house, they would agree with the sentiment. And you can follow us on Twitter at East Coast Radio. Get us on Patreon at East Coast Radio. Vote. Blue Wave 2020. Let's make it happen. East Coast Radio for the least heard voices. Every weekend. We here on East Coast Radio are trying to fight the rising tide of fascism.
The noun fascism is usually defined as a governmental system led by a dictator having complete power, forcibly suppressing opposition and criticism, regimenting all industry, commerce, etc., and emphasizing an aggressive nationalism and often racism.
Yeah, we don't want any of that in America. So we gotta stop it. We gotta put out the fire now.
Staten Island boys are no joke.
As liberals, not even as liberals, as Americans, as patriots, as people that like democracy. The only thing we can do right now to fix our country is use our weapons. And our weapons are our voices, our handmade signs, and social media. Get the message out there. Voting. Voting is key. Elections have consequences.
If you don't know what Staten Island is, it's like New York's abortion that lived.
Representing Staten Island. These Staten Island boys are no joke.
Hey, you! Who's in the house? Dyze in your house. What is the word, peeps? What goes on? It is the weekend. I am Jay Porks. We are back here on East Coast Radio with another action-packed edition of Dyze in your house. What is Dyze in your house? Well, it's the vehicle I use to fight fascism. Alexa, what is fascism?
The noun fascism is usually defined as a governmental system led by a dictator having complete power, forcibly suppressing opposition and criticism, regimenting all industry, commerce, etc., and emphasizing an aggressive nationalism and often racism.
Yeah, we're not into that in America. We don't want that in America, so we're not having that in America. It's called democracy, and we're here to save it. And I would not be a patriot, you know? If I sat here and I did a podcast every week and told stories about how I was so mad I missed the bus, or some silly anecdote about my little life that really doesn't matter in terms of the world and the country. And, you know, if you were in your house and it was burning down, would you start making a meme, or would you go find some water? You know what I'm saying? Or call somebody. This is what this podcast is. I'm calling the fire department. I'm calling you guys. And there's a call to action. And elections have consequences. And we have to vote in 2020. And we have to get this country back heading in the direction that is good for everyone. Listen, no one's saying that pre-2016 America was like, you know, where it needed to be. Socially, progressively, all that stuff in terms of thought and the way people treat each other and stuff like that. Just as, you know, a community. As people progressing, evolving. As minds evolve. Let's not pretend that in like August 2016, America was just fine. It wasn't. This underlying racism that is now very out there by people wearing red hats, we need to understand that that is a real threat. Those people may not be educated, but those people know where the polls are. And we need to make sure that 2020, the polls are packed. We need to make sure that everybody in that red hat sees like 5 millennials next to him or her in line like this. Yeah, you thought your vote mattered. Because that's the thing, people say their vote doesn't count, and then they don't go vote. You gotta go vote. Complain about it later. Anyhow, speaking of voting, you notice that I'm talking about voting. It's because in my notes right here, I got vote in big letters. Because we were going to talk about 2020 Dems today. That's right. Power rankings. Going to tell you, you know, who I like, who I don't like. Policies I like, policies I don't like. That's what we were going to talk about. But unfortunately, like, you thought America's pastime was like apple pie, baseball, and Chevy cars. You know what I'm saying? It's not. America's pastime is guns. And enough is enough. You want to know why? You want to know how bad America's gun problem is? Alexa, what is an AR-15?
An AR-15 style rifle is a lightweight semi-automatic rifle based on the Armalite AR-15 design. Armalite sold the patent and trademark to Colt's Manufacturing Company in 1959. After Colt's patents expired in 1977, Colt retained the trademark and is the exclusive owner of AR-15 designation.
See, that was a long definition of what an AR-15 is. Now watch this. Alexa, why are AR-15s legal in America?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Neither am I! Neither am I! It is a semi-automatic killing machine. If you need an AR-15 to kill deer, because don't come up all up in here and think I'm one of these let's take your guns away people. I mean, you know, low key, I don't like guns, and I don't need guns. But, like, I understand that people hunt, and all your, you know, whatever Duck Dynasty crap you guys are into in Middle America, okay? But let me tell you something. If you need an AR-15 to kill Bambi, you need a better hobby than the hobby you have right now. And that's facts. That's a valid statement. So, there was a shooting at a synagogue because, you know, anti-Semitism, because, you know, fascism, because, you know, Germany, World War II, remember? Yeah. So, back when that was starting, people, they clapped for Hitler too, you know what I'm saying? You see these rallies on TV. These are nothing but KKK rallies. These are Klan rallies, but instead of wearing hoods, they're wearing red hats. And let's not call it anything else. And every couple of weeks, whether it's a mosque, or a synagogue, or a black church, people are getting senselessly shot for no reason. There's not a domestic dispute, which, by the way, nobody should get shot. Ever. Unless you're, like, running at police with a weapon or, you know, I'm sure there's a handful of other reasons why you should get shot. But not while you're in a place of prayer. Not because of who you are as a person and not because of what God you believe in. And anybody that thinks that people need to die based on the God they believe in needs to take a step back and think about exactly what religion is. You know what I'm saying? So the name of this, is it Poway? Poway? Name of the town? I'm not going to pronounce it right, because I haven't watched cable news yet since I came home. I've just been scrolling. I don't even... Listen, because here's the thing. I don't need to read the article to see the details. You know? I don't need to see the details about it. I see one dead, multiple wounded, by an AR-15 wielded by a 19-year-old kid. By a 19-year-old kid. The kid who, in the states where there's legalized pot, can't even go into a store and buy pot legally. Can't buy a beer, but he can buy a killing machine with no background check. It is easier to obtain an AR-15 in America than it is to conceal to get a regular, this is my gun culture, I don't know what it's called, a Glock or whatever you call it, you know, pistol, there you go. Because you can hide that, but an AR-15 you can get. What kind of backwoods bubble fuck shit is this, man? I'm sorry. I know that I've tried to, like, hone back on the language a little bit, but now that I no longer work in school, I stopped cursing like a 5-year-old, and, like, when people are getting killed in their place of worship, that type of shit pisses me off, you know? And I don't care what religion it is, because this is America. Don't catch you slipping up, okay? Let me not catch you slipping up thinking that you decide what religion people practice. Because, let me tell you a little something about America. It was founded by these folks that were mad that they were being forced to practice a certain religion or not practice a certain religion where they were. That is what this country is. So anybody that wants to read the Second Amendment to me can go kick rocks. I got no interest in the Second Amendment. I don't care about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment doesn't say that you can have a killing machine to go kill people based on the God they believe in. That is not valid. It makes me sick. And like I said, I was going to talk about 2020 Dems. I don't need to break down the power rankings. If you want to stop seeing people get shot, then you know that your vote goes to the person at the top of the Democratic ticket. Because there are no Democrats that are against universal background checks. You know, we can't have killing machines being sold based on a state-by-state basis, okay? I know people, the big government. We can't have big government in our stuff. Well, you know what? It's a killing machine! And I think big government needs to get involved here. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad for wanting people to live. Sorry. The bleeding heart I am. The bleeding heart I am that I don't want people's literal hearts. Like I'm a figurative bleeding heart. I don't want literal bleeding hearts. Because of guns. Oh, well, he could have went up in there. He could have went in there with a knife and he could have knifed a bunch of people. Could have shanked some folks. Yeah, he's OJ. Let him take a stab at it. Sure. What are you kidding me? What? It's not sensical. It doesn't make any sense. And in a week where this tops off the week of Maria Butina got sentenced. Maria Butina is the Russian spy that was infiltrating the circles of GOP donors and the circles of NRA slash GOP donor people. She was working on behalf of the Kremlin to influence politics in America. And there are several Maria Butinas in America. She got sentenced to 18 months in prison, which is not what she wanted. She didn't care what they gave her, as long as they sent her back to Russia immediately. That's not gonna happen. She's gonna have to be in jail for 18 months, and we'll see if she ever makes it back to Mother Russia. Because Vladimir Putin has this thing about people that know things about him end up dead. So, just saying. The same week that, I don't know what's going... I mean, the NRA... Listen. I mean, we could say this, and let's hope it's true. The NRA is a dying organization. And thank God for that. Thank whatever God you believe in. Thank whatever God you pray to. Oliver North said he's not seeking re-election or something as the president of the NRA. There's the other guy whose name is escaping me at this point. But Dana Loesch is the mouthpiece out there. And she retweeted something today about that the guy whose name I'm not going to say because that's some dumb stuff when somebody runs up and when someone pulls up somewhere, starts shooting people recklessly for no reason besides hate and racism, and you go blasting his name on the news. That's basically what he wanted. All he wanted. So, I'm not gonna give him that. I won't even read the fucker's name. But when things like this happen, the NRA, and Dana Loesch is the spokeswoman, they like to use the, well, you know what stops a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a gun. And she retweeted something today that was very interesting. It was a tweet from some no-name nobody who said that a Border Patrol agent actually was able to stop the gunman from escaping, like, you know, without getting caught. Dana Loesch retweeted this, you know, as if to make the argument a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. Well, I poke some holes in that. The Border Patrol agent is not a good guy with a gun. He might actually be a bad guy with a gun. He's a Border Patrol agent. But let's not go over that. He's not a guy. He's a Border Patrol. He's a trained professional. Also, he didn't shoot the guy. He shot at the guy's car, missed the guy's car, leading the authorities to where the guy was. And they got him. Like, a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. That sounds like... So give everybody in America guns. You know what's gonna happen? That Thanos shit when he fucking snaps his finger and kills half the people? Yeah, that Infinity War shit. That's what it is. Yeah, I slipped an Avengers reference in here on Endgame weekend. I did. And that's something you're gonna have to cope with on your own. But like, I mean, people getting shot, guns. I don't need to break down numbers and stuff for you. Every couple of weeks, it's the same thing. And Maria Butina was sent here to America to infiltrate gun rights groups. Specifically. This NRA Oliver North not seeking re-election stuff is happening this week. Those two things happened, and then there was a shooting. Are we not connecting these things? Another manifesto? Come on, man. Come on, man. You want to sit home and say, and with your arms crossed, with that, and make that boo-boo face? Well, if the Democrats don't make Bernie Sanders the candidate, then I'm sitting home and I'm not voting. Yeah, alright. And then you're gonna say that your vote doesn't count, you're gonna sit home and cry. And then your friends are gonna get killed. Because you didn't go vote. And that's gonna be on you. The NRA has blood on their hands for all of these murders. You sit out this election because an independent who tried to run as a Democrat didn't get the nomination and you got boo-boo faced about it. The blood is going to be on your hands. Dyze in your house. Exclusively on Least Coast Radio.